Sunstreaker, can I have a ride?
Sure, he's mine. Wheeling and stealing.
Bro, you stealing piece of...
Hey everyone, Sound84 here. Happy New Year. First review of the new year will be MP39 Sunstreaker. I got this figure actually a couple of days ago. I fiddled with him a little bit. Hadn't had a chance to make any videos. I was going to do that with him before the new year hit. Wasn't able to get to it. So, yeah. So first, before we actually really look at the figure, just take a look at his packaging. It is a normal cardboard sized box. It has, since I think Megatron came around, they've had these long life designs on there. Bikini, tell what it is, blah, blah, blah. And of course, you get your side, your back with normal pictures we've all pretty much seen. And him with, I think that's MP12 Plus Lambor, who is the animation colored accurate. Which I do not have that one. I might trade my regular one for that one. Here's this view, of course, normal here and normal on the bottom. And we'll just take a look at what we get on the inside. And the nice little clamshell packaging. You're going to get your instructions plus this nice little masterpiece artwork card. Very nice, like it. And then inside the clamshell packaging, of course, this did not come. There's extra side mirrors for the car motor. The other ones, I guess, break. Because in transformation, the way it tucks into the leg, I guess there's a chance you could snap it off. From Hoist Goes Hollywood, you get the alien mask. And if you already have DX9's version of Power Glide, you have another mask. And I think it was X-Transbots. I can't remember the name they gave him, but their Hoist came with one as well. And I think it came with an extra one to put on tracks. But I don't have that Hoist. And he comes with two more faces, you can see in here. Like a happy smiling one, a screaming one, and another gun which can be stored inside his leg. I didn't pull that one out because he has this gun here, and I like this one. Okay. Well, I'm going to do a different in this video. I'm not going to transform this guy. There's been videos on the internet for probably over a week now with transformations already in them. I'm pretty sure most people have already checked those out. So what I'm going to do is just review the figure itself and just talk about how the figure looks, feels, and what I think of the quality of this figure. Now, as a previous owner of a Badcube Sunsurge, and I do have a review of that figure, and I will put a link to that down below. Plus, also in this video, if you want to click on it and see the review and my thoughts on that figure. So, according to that video, I like Badcube Sunsurge. I thought he was, to me, he seemed more Sunstreaker than the Omnigonic spin out, which to me looked more like the toy. I actually like the animation model of Sunstreaker better than the toy, which I never really cared for the robot mode on that. But I love the car modes, definitely. So, as a owner of Badcube Sunsurge, I was like, well, this figure, I first saw this one, like he looked similar. You can see where they took some design cues and just looked sort of like Badcube Sunsurge in certain spots. But after having this figure and holding this figure, totally different. So I'll just say that, and I'll get to my thoughts on that and the comparison between those two later in the video here. As I no longer own Badcube Sunsurge. I did sell that so I could pre-order this guy. So yeah, I'll just take a look on the side. And he thins up nicely. He does have a backpack that, if you create, does resemble the back of the figure. If you don't, just kind of ignore that part. In the cartoon, and his little intakes on the back. Yes, he does have the faux windshield. Sorry. So, yeah, I know some people don't like that. And honestly, it's just the roof of the car currently there just turned around. So it's not really that bad. It's actually the top of the car. You're just flipping it over. So it's just the rest of the actual windshield is just tucked up under here. So yeah, overall on this figure, I do like him. So we're going to show him off with MP12 here. And once I handle both figures, you can really tell that the design of the Masterpiece figures has really changed from this guy to this guy. Whereas this guy is very limited in his articulation. Whereas Sunstreaker, you can get him in some wild poses and really play around with his poseability. Lambert is very limited in what he can do. There's really not much head movement. There's not much to this. You can get left and right. Whereas Sunstreaker, you can look up, down, turn left, right, and he's got this extra little hinge where you can bring his head up, and you can, so you want to have him look down and still see his face. You still see it. Or you can try to go for that spin out look and have it like, sorry. I'm not going to knock the figure. I never touched it. I just never liked the look of it. So you'll notice right off the bat that things are different from this, especially if you get the MP12 Plus. I have not handled that, so I don't know if the joints are the same. Articulation probably would be the same. Joints might be different. Sunstreaker has a lot of ratcheting joints. His knees are ratcheted. Hips ratcheted, at least out forward and back. Not to the sides, that's more friction. He has friction elbows and friction shoulders, which go all the way around. He's got this extra joint here in the shoulder, so you can get some movement, or you can get him to actually just go ahead and hold his gun. He's got all this angle tilt. You can go front, back, in and out. He's got the upper thigh swivel. He's got these hip skirts which will move with his legs. He does have a waist swivel. Backpack sort of gets in the way. It's mostly just the butt flap here with his spoiler. So we're just going to do that. Left the waist swivel, you just need to watch out for his booty flap. Of course, he's got the upper thigh swivel, or we say upper thigh bicep swivel. His wrists are articulated to where you can spin them. His fingers are all on one pin, so they all open together. And his thumb is actually on a pin as well, so you can move his thumb out somewhat. So when you wedge the gun into his hand, you don't have as much fear of breaking thumbs off. I remember seeing people complain about that on Ironhide. So he's got a lot of articulation, way more than what he has. Mostly just in the head and ankle, feet area. So you can get better poses out of Sunstreaker. But just the feel of the figure itself, Sunstreaker is heavier. If you go by that in quality, he does feel a little more weighty. Feels like he's got some die cast in his feet, whereas this guy feels like all plastic, like he shouldn't have cost me $70. You can see how they did the cars differently, and they're really nice. Together, Sunstreaker does seem a bit too skinny for Lambert, who is wider with built chest here. Compare him with his vain friend here, Autobot. There is Trax, and you'll feel the joints. Kind of Trax got more ratcheted, and that's what you get. You get that kind of posability out of him. And they can put the little partners here. He comes with Chip Chase, which I did show off, and he comes with Raoud. So it shows the Vanity friends, or Autobots, together here. I guess we can show off Chip Chase real quick, since I forgot all about him. And my Badcubes, which had, well, you sat together and the legs could kind of come off and move. His is just one molded piece. And it sits in a wheelchair here. And no, the wheels do not move, but it slides around just fine. So overall, the robot mode is very animation accurate, head on. I know in the pictures I was kind of weary about all this junk up here you can see when you have the figure certain ways. In person, in hand, it is not as noticeable, because usually you're just looking at the figure like this. And he looks clean. He looks, he doesn't look all fiddly, what's the word, kibbly. In terms of sideways, you notice the backpack. The backpack actually is not that bad in person. And it only juts out maybe about an inch. This is Hot Rod, MP Hot Rod, and Sunstreaker's backpack is a little bit smaller than Hot Rod's. So, and that's not counting the spoiler on Hot Rod. So back view. People complain about the butt flap, which, you really don't notice it from the front, unless you're really looking for it. So it's not really bad from behind, but most people do not pose figures this way. I mean, let's start my Masterpiece Autobot collection. Here we go. Perfect. Take a picture of my shelf. No. No, if you're going to look at it that way, you know, stuff's got to go somewhere. And to get what they did with this figure, I mean, it's not bad at all. Because you can do the 2 modes on the vehicle mode. You can have it cartoon accurate or animation accurate with the air intakes on top, or you can do it more like how Sideswipe looks and without the air intakes. You know, so they did a lot, and they also changed the rear windows, tail lights. So you can do a lot with this figure. Even these things hide inside the car mode, back of these vents, intakes. So I mean, they did a lot with this figure, and you can excuse some of it, and that to me is excused. He's got a backpack in the cartoon anyway. Even in the toy, he has the things on the back. So I mean, if the butt flaps your biggest concern, it shouldn't really be. Now, as I said, as an owner of Badcube Sunsurge, the robot mode on Sunstreaker here is miles above Sunsurge. I know you're gonna have people hating on that. I own a lot of Badcube figures. I have their Huff, their Piper, I have their Brawny, I have their Trailbreaker, their Hoist, and I did have their Sunstreaker. And I've enjoyed all the figures in the both modes, vehicle and robot. Their transformations are not always. Their Sunstreaker or Sunsurge was a pain, but you know, with practice it was not that bad. Now their Trailbreaker and their Hoist, I don't even want to put them back in vehicle mode. So I'll say that their Huff, their Brawny, and their Piper, they're easy. I also have their Grump, and transformation is not hard. The hardest part is just getting things to stick. So I'm a fan of Badcube's toys. Pretty much what I'm trying to say. I went on. I'm a fan of Badcube, so I have nothing against Badcube. I never owned the Omnigonics. It just wasn't for me by looks, but by feeling of Sunsurge and this MP39 Sunstreaker, like I said, is miles above that figure and feel and quality. When I have Sunsurge and I hold him in robot mode, he felt chuggish. He did feel, compared to this, he fit. Now thinking back on it, he feels cheap. The legs will always, the joints would move on me. It's hard to get the legs. He had the duct feet problem, which wasn't that bad, but which made him shorter than Lambor and all them. This way, he's actually, I think, like a hair taller. I know there's ways to hide the duct feet and make them a bit taller, and you can make it to where it smooths out on the sides here, but it gave him a little gap in the thing. You see my video review, you'll see all that. In vehicle mode, though, that is where I think Sunsurge shined. His vehicle, I say, is just on par with what he is in vehicle mode, except for the fact that he can change his vehicle mode, and that puts him above. But overall, just based on pure looks, you know, they both look good. I wish I could have kept my Sunsurge, keep in vehicle mode, and have him in front of this guy, because I think that would be a perfect, you know, perfect match there. But overall, like I said, this guy is miles above. Okay, so this is Sunstreaker in his vehicle mode. This is the animation accurate vehicle mode here. You can see he's got the custom intakes up top, and he's got these lights here in the back. And he's got a slot here where you can stick this weapon in there and have him with his weapon. So you can do that. And I do notice people have been putting on Facebook and places that their chrome is scratched on these. Hold on, let me kind of clean off my fingerprints. Just see if I get the light just right. There is. That's from me wiping. But you can see this little line that comes down around right here. There's one on this side as well, if I can hit it just right. There you go. You see it's right there. It comes down and around. It's the same on both sides. I've seen the exact same things on the internet. That's why I dislike chrome. I'd rather just be painted silver. But you can kind of see them there. That one especially. It might just be a defect from the factory, because a lot of them seem to have that problem. But yeah, I kind of wish these were just silver. I know I left chrome on Sunsurge. It's because I didn't want to take that stuff off. Knowing me, I will end up breaking something, and I didn't want to do that. You know. There you go. I have that down all the way. Now, what you can do, if you want to keep the custom part up top, but have real-world tail lights, you just take these pieces here, and you open them up. Now, I'm sure you've seen all this already on the internet if you've watched any of the other reviews. And you just slide them down. And voila. And you don't have to change all this around, and you can keep it this way. And also, he does have his pistol in here from that one episode early on where they were attacking or shooting at Laserbeak or whatever was flying. I can't exactly remember all of it. You just move his spoilers apart, get in there, grab that gun, and voila. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And you just put it right back in there, and you just put his things right back together. Oh, good boy. That's what I say. I hate chrome. I hate it. Okay. Now, if you do want to go with the real world back end up at top, what you want to do is just go ahead and unpeg these from the sides. Sorry. Too much soda today. Right here, and it helps if you grab the back end and sort of help pull it out so it untabs easier. And you grab the whole thing, like the Chosen Prom said in the review, it's just easier just to lift the whole back up because you get more clearance. And that's why, like, one of the things I hate when you try and get back to the vehicle mode is this: there is a lot of clearance issues of trying to get things to fit right back in that way. And you just want to, I'm trying to remember which way it goes. It goes opposite. Yeah, I think it goes this way. You want to fold these up, get clearance, and you just bring that down and around like so. And then you just want to close it, and then you just come back up here, fold it all back up, and you just want to close it all back down. See if I can get it fully up there. Make sure you get it all tabbed in. Bring these pieces back up. And these pieces here, they kind of make them move a little bit. This one on this side doesn't really want to move for me. You get those in there and you tab it all back together here. I do have problems this side tabbing. Get this side here. Voila. And there's your real world vehicle mode. Now the back does resemble a lot of spin out, which they did try to mimic a real world version of this car. Not go for all the animation accuracy. Now there you go. Looks really, really good. And it does resemble a lot of Sideswipe. So, model them. Bam! Right. So overall, if you got spin out, if you got Sunsurge, and you're not exactly happy with them, and you want to upgrade, and you're looking for a better Sunstreaker, this is your guy. What you need to do is sell them, and then buy this. You know, if you don't want to sell them, but you like their vehicle mode over this vehicle mode, keep them that way, and then you can keep them in vehicle mode, or you can, that way you can have this guy in robot mode. Also, I don't know if I showed you, push these little things at the bottom down here for the real world stuff too, and you can get the lights to come up. Ooh-wee. And then over here, also, I'm going to show you real quick, a little, it came out of the package this way. Zoom in on it. Right there on the top of that. It's a little like paint chippage. It came out of the package that way. Also, I have a little bit of yellow paint on one of the ears on the very top of the head, and on the black part of the legs, there is a little bit of yellow paint. It's very small. It's like a little speck, but just let people know. Anyway, I'm very happy with this purchase. To me, this is the definitive Sunstreaker. It is miles above Sunsurge, and I've had Sunsurge, and he makes Sunsurge in robot mode feel like a chug, vehicle mode, I say they feel about even. So that's how I feel about Sunsurge compared to this guy. I've never owned Spin Out, but by what I've read and seen and heard, yeah, there's no comparison. So anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.